I think you need to just lift those, get them to a certain place so they're not a vulnerability, and triple down on your charisma, and triple down on your salesmanship, and triple down on your work ethic. Whatever those 3 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars are, it's fascinating when you study who's winning and who's not. It's the people that have the confidence to suck at shit that are winning.
Blockchain with it, and my blockchain Monkeyz full of octane in them. You know the vibe, plus we shredded than a motherfucker. Yeah, we crash monkeys. Yeah, we crash monkeys. It go Planet of the Apes, gorillas in a mess. All these bad rooms all over my shit. It go.
Relay.
Oh, thank you. I put it on because of you. I heard you talking about Hawaii. I was like, I gotta get my lay.
I love it. I love it. I feel like I'm gonna put on my Hawaii earrings, the ones my cousins got from me. I always use these. They remind me of Hawaii. They're my family emblem.
Yeah.
See, I'll make it so you can actually. Can you see that? Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice. Yes.
I love this camera.
Yeah, that's a beautiful camera.
Thank you. Our media team expressly asked for this particular camera. I'm like, whatever. Okay, we can do that. Just get my really, really big cup of coffee. Anywho, okay, I'm good. I got my coffee. I got my. It's all good. I don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. Anywho, back to what you want to talk about.
Yes. Well, first of all, it's amazing to meet you. I came across you because I was watching the Crypto Nerds video, and I wasn't looking for anything. I wasn't thinking about investing. I was like, let me just listen and see what's going on here. So I'm listening and I'm watching. I'm hearing you talk. I'm like, wow, this lady's amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm like, so I'm listening to you talking and you're explaining the project, and so much value being there. I'm just like, then I got interested. I'm like, what's going on there? So I'm looking over here at the Legacy Leaders NFT on the Twitter and stuff like that. I'm like, wow, I would love to be a part of something like this. So I was like, I got to get her on the show so I can introduce you to the audience.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm doing some research on the project, and it's just like, wow, this is a really, really beautiful project. And I don't really put out a lot of things until I do like thorough research on it. Then I saw your background, and that was already in real estate. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can get on a show. And you just jumped on. I was like, wow. I wasn't expecting to jump on this fast. You know what I mean?
The thing is, like with myself and my husband included, when we make decisions, we jump on them almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk to, especially when it comes to talking to people. I love talking to people. Like I love like meeting new people. I love that like that, just having that human touch. So when you asked, I was like, of course.
Goodness gracious, it's so meaningful, especially like you realize that in times like this. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
especially when you need that person-to-person touch, that through COVID, through what's happening in the Ukraine, through everything that we're going through, just as a world,
right?
Like as this like especially the NFT world, because we're a global community. We're a global community of so many different cultures, so many different thoughts, and the fact that we get to meet each other.
Yeah.
Like, would we have met in any other situation? Maybe. I'm going to say there might have been like a small, slightly % chance.
Right.
But probably not, because the NFT world, though, is like, we talk about NFT time, and it's a global time, and it never ends. But the thing is, on one hand, that can't be good for our minds, because we have to shut it down, and we have to create these barriers for ourselves.
Have to.
But at the same time, we get to.
Yeah.
We get to connect with other people worldwide if we happen to be up at 2 a.m. Central Time, that's where I am in the US.
Okay.
Chances are I'm going to be able to connect with someone.
Yeah.
And that someone's probably just going to tell me, if they're my friend, they're going to say, Pili, get to bed. I'll be like, okay, I'll go to bed.
I do that sometimes. I'm like, go to sleep when I should be sleeping myself.
Yes, exactly that.
Nice. So if you could just introduce to us like who you are, what a little bit of background about yourself, and then also what is Legacy NFT?
Okay. So hi everyone. I'm Pili Yarusi. I'm the co-founder of Yarusi Holdings, which is my large multifamily, my large apartment investing company. And we basically take on large buildings that are badly run, badly operated, or have some sort of operational or physical deficiencies. We take those on, we rebrand them, we rejuvenate them, and then on the back end, and this is like years in the planning because it's a huge building usually.
Yes.
And then we resell them, or we hold on to them for an extended period of time. So that's what I do in real life. I am a real estate syndicator, owner, operator, and real estate investor. And most of my portfolio is consistent of that. I am also the founder of Seven Figure Multifamily, excuse me. Seven Figure Flipping is our partner, where we actually teach people how to do exactly what we do in real estate. And then I have Legacy Leaders, and Legacy Leaders was born a love for this community, for this world that we just talked about.
Yeah.
And I want to bring in a community and combine everything that I now know about NFTs and everything that I've been doing for almost a decade with real estate, and bring the two together by creating this community of incredible people who will learn how, like in the NFT world, bringing those that are just new to the space, new to investing. Because you and I both know the NFT world is an investment world. You are investing in projects, you're investing in people, you're putting your hard-earned ETH, I usually say money, but this is ETH or SOL or whatever it is, whatever coin you're using to invest in. You're using this to invest in these projects. And that's exactly what I do in real estate. But what I do in real estate is highly scrutinized by the SEC. I go by all sorts of rules there. So I want to make sure that when the NFT world has to make that transition to more rules, more guidance, I want to be able to be there to help support that transition, and also teach people how they can benefit from what I do in real estate, and how my real estate community can benefit from this incredible world of NFTs. So the project itself, it's led by me. I'm an Indigenous woman. I'm from Hawaii, and it's going to consist of 10,000 legacy leaders, and we're going to empower this NFT project by all of our knowledge, all of our friends in real estate. It's going to be about community building, legacy building, and it's built on the foundations of value, vision, and versatility.
Yes, that's amazing. And that's one of the things that really drew me in, was the fact of your knowledge with the SEC in your traditional state. I'm like, wow, so whatever we're going through, she's going to get us through.
Because it's going to happen. At one point, the SEC is going to catch wind of all these DAOs being created, of people promising profit and all these things. Because you'll never, ever hear me promise profit. Absolutely. Never, ever. And anybody that you step into a project that does promise it, I mean, they could come through. I'm not saying that they're not going to, but you cannot promise profit. You just can't. Mm-hmm. Even with what I do, I have 110-page document called a PPM that basically tells my investors everything that could go wrong. And in the end, this whole thing could blow up and you could basically lose your money.
Yeah.
Because I can't promise profit.
Right.
Like it's almost illegal to. So like just that bit of information, like some founders of projects maybe don't even know that, or don't really care about it because this is the Wild West. and they're trying to get in there, get their money, and get out as soon as possible. I don't know other projects, but I know my project, we are going to go as to the book as we possibly can. And so when the SEC does come, because they're going to come knocking on my door first, because they're going to be like, wait, Pili, and my husband Jason, Pili, you knew better. You knew better, so you got to do better. So I cannot do it wrong. I have to do it right. And I'm hoping that just that information will bring people into our project, because they know that Jason and I and our team have to do it right. We have to do this right, or we're just not going to do it at all.
Absolutely. Absolutely amazing. What does legacy mean to you?
That's a big question. So legacy means combining everything that is within my culture, everything that is within me, everything that is within my children and my family, and building up on that, creating not only wealth in the money sense, because we need that.
Right.
We need that. I know I would rather it be, don't focus on the money, all that stuff, but you do need to build wealth. If you have the wealth, you can pay for those things. You can pay for your health. You can pay for all these things. So there is that building a part of my foundation on wealth building, but that's not all. It's also perpetuating my culture. It's also teaching my children how to speak Hawaiian. It's also creating and giving my children and my community the mindset of just sharing and caring about one another. And we talked about this. It's also that touch that you have with people and bringing people into your legacy so that they can see what you're doing and that they can build off of that. There's
because
so much.
Not to cut you off, but that makes so much sense to me, because if you're living in a state of flight or fright, you never have the ability to build that mindset of abundance, because you're always in fight mode. So yes, absolutely.
It's okay, because if you talk to my husband, he is I don't want to say he's in fight mode all the time, but his brain is always going, always
I understand.
Going and developing things and keeping things active, because he's actually our asset manager and basically head of operations for Yarusi Holdings. He is the manager that manages the manager. So he has that leadership quality of he makes a decision and he goes for it. So you have to have that too, but it's also bringing that in and sharing those qualities with other people and showing them how to, not just showing that you're doing it, but how do you do it? That's why we have 7-figure multifamily. It's we can do this, and we're very successful at what we're doing, but that success means nothing if we can't show you how to do it, if we can't share that, because why would we just keep that to ourselves when as we're growing, you can grow too.
Right.
I believe relationships equal partnerships. If I make these relationships and they become partners, I don't know, say if you jump into my program and I teach you how to do exactly what I do, maybe one day you're going to get those buildings, you're going to learn how to do all these things. Who do you think you're going to come to first to come bring on your journey?
Help!
Call me.
I'd be like, Pilla, help!
But the thing is that's what partnerships are for. You create these strong partnerships. And for instance, now I can bring people up. People are bringing me up as I talk to you right now. There are people that are helping me to grow, helping me to prosper. People I call every single day to bring me on this journey. All the partners that we have in Legacy Leaders, for instance, are artist COO. I couldn't have done this without her. Crystal Groves, oh my goodness, she is a goddess. And then my husband, they all give me the foundation that I can build on, and I can brain vomit all my ideas onto them, and they're like, okay, let's put this here, this here, this here. we will do the art here, because honestly, I was going to draw the art, but it was keeping me. That was like, it was keeping me from moving forward.
The other
because
qualities.
I haven't studied art all my life. I studied it back in like high school and in the beginning of college.
Right.
And it was great. And I love doing it, but I'm not a professional artist. So why not bring my friend, Sia Ohm, that I've known for over a decade? I have these amazing connections in the comic book industry. Why not bring those people with me on the journey? Could I have started the Discord? Sure. You can just press a couple of buttons and it's there. But would I have done it correctly?
Yeah.
No. Would I have done it in a safe manner? No. And then my husband has this beautiful, like, business-minded brain that helps guide me, helps keep me systematized, and helps point out things that he's like, Pili, have we done this yet? And I'll be like, no, let me put my brain on that and get it done. Right. So it's the people that come with you. And then our moderators, I just made a introduction for them in our Discord. I mean, not for nothing, it's Employee Appreciation Day.
Okay.
I don't believe in employees, so I'm renaming this Legacy Leaders Appreciation Day. So I appreciate you, all the listeners, everybody that's listening to this, everyone on Twitter, everyone in Legacy Leaders Discord. You are all appreciated.
Awesome.
I don't know if I actually answered your question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wanted to get into, I believe I saw you have a Marvel artist or DC artist on the team. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, Sia, she is so talented. Oh my goodness. Like, you should look her up. Sia, she's done countless works for DC. I mean, her artwork is, just some of the work that she's done. So we're talking about Sia, just to go back, just so editing's good for you. So Sia
yes,
is such an amazing friend. I met her through Aspen Comics. I'm really good friends with the crew there. I was really good friends with the founder, who unfortunately died from cancer back in 2006. Wow. We became really good friends, and we've just kind of followed each other throughout our lives for the past more than, I think 15 or 16 years at this point. So when I started getting into the NFT world, and I realized that the art was what was keeping me from taking the steps that I needed to really bring this project together, I was thinking of all the artists that I know. So Sia has done work for Marvel, has done work for DC. She has another project coming out that I have to stay mum about, but it's another comic book project. She's released her own comic book project called Lola XOXO, and the art there. Wow. Normally when people put out comic books, they have a team around them, and she does have a team, but she did the pencils, she did the inks, she did the color. And the thing is, she used different types of, not only digital, but she did the first turn of this entire comic, hand drawn, hand colored, and I can't even explain how almost rare that is, because most of the comic books you see are mostly digital art, and digital art's beautiful. Digital colors are beautiful, right. But having an artist take so much pride in her art that she first does it in real life. Like, she takes out her watercolors, she takes out her brushes, she takes out her pencils. She makes sure that every single bit of that comic has her touch. She not only did that, she wrote it. She engineered the entire thing. This Lola XOXO is her baby. Everything about it had her touch. So knowing that, and knowing that we needed an artist, she was the first person I turned to. Yeah. But get this, she's never done an NFT drop before. In fact, it took me a couple of tries to convince her to do it. So being able to onboard this incredible artist into the NFT space. And she's been, I can't explain, she is professional. She has been doing this for over a decade, but she's been grinding. I told Go ahead.
I couldn't help myself. I had to cut you off. It's just like you said, she's been grinding for so long. And the fact that she put so much love and quality into it, she's now able to really, really reap her true value now in this space.
Yes, you knew exactly where I was going to.
Yeah.
I was like, I showed her some of my artist friends in the NFT space, and I'm just like, Sia, look at what they're doing. Like, these are incredible artists that get to sell their works for hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. And get this, Sia, after you sell that work, you know, once you sell one of your pieces, it's belongs to somebody else. It's theirs to do what they want. If they want to sell it on the open market, then they can. But the thing is, you don't see any more profits from that. In the NFT space, you can continue to get royalties on your work. If someone sells your work, you will get the royalties that you specify in the contract that you want.
Beautiful.
And she deserves that. She is such an amazing artist, that she's so talented that she deserves it. So bringing her on, it was almost like a no-brainer. Because I was like, okay, I get to onboard this incredible artist. She gets to get paid for her work. And she has all this, like, just talk about utility. Like, she has all this background, all this like professionalism. And I get to introduce her to the NFT world. So for that, I am just honored. So Sia, if you're hearing this, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's got to be beautiful to watch from your end too, to see that. You know,
seeing the transformation from like some of the sketches, some of the first art she gave me, I kept on saying, Sia, I want to see you. I don't want to see the versions of the NFTs that you've seen. I want to see you. I want to see your art, your style, your, like, never mind like the brain stuff that I've given you. Take it and run with it. And the art that she's given us so far is amazing. And the little sneak peeks that we put out are not even close to what the actual 10,000 are going to be, because we just did the first generative run, and it looks amazing. And it's just like it gives me the chills to know like what we can do with this and how far we can take it, and how her art can just like explode into this space. Like, this is just like, for Sia, this is just the launching pad. This is just like the foundation.
Right.
Like, I cannot wait to see what happens with her in this space once this takes off. Because once this takes off, she's going to take off with it, and she's going to, like, the NFT world knows no bounds for artists. Like, if you're an artist in this space, forget about it. Like, you can go so far. And Sia is just starting. So I cannot wait to see what else she does. Never mind this project. I want to see what else she does.
Right. Absolutely. I'm actually my son, he did an art piece, so I'm going to help him upload his first NFT. He's 6.
Yes. You should touch you should tap on Flower Girls. Flower Girls NFT actually just bought 3 of my daughters' art pieces, and she's 5.
Yeah. What platform did you use to upload it?
Opensea.
Opensea.
I put her work on Opensea.
Yeah. Quick question. So remember you were talking about NFTs with utilities and being able to get paid royalties. I know this is possible. I just don't know how it's done. Say you have a charity or a place you want to donate to, and they have a specific address, and every time something's sold, they get a percentage of that. Are you able to set up something like that?
So right now with Opensea, unless it's changed, you can only direct the proceeds, the royalties, to one particular wallet. So if you want to manage those proceeds, you would put it to a wallet that you're managing. If, say, there is a fund or a project that you want to direct those proceeds to, you can put their wallet there. But I don't think you can change it after that. So if there is a not-for-profit that you want to support, by all means, you can put their address there, and those proceeds will go to them. but you can't. Again, this is information coming from maybe a month ago since I did my last like personal drop. Those proceeds cannot be split. Like Opensea didn't have that capability. You might be able to write a contract. Of course, you'd have to talk to a developer about this to where that could happen. But right now, if you do, like the easiest way I know how to put my art out there is to do it on Opensea. Right now, Opensea does not have those capabilities.
Okay, cool. Because right now we're looking at it's a marketplace called Sologenics. I don't know if you ever heard of it. Sologenics, they run on the XRPL ledger, but they just built an NFT marketplace. Really, really easy place to set up. Fees are next to nothing. And what we're doing right now is just learning the intricacies. Like as far as uploading everything, that's easy. But we're trying to learn what we can do on the back end with everything. So highly suggest checking that out if you haven't.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
You should see if there's a way to split those royalty proceeds between wallets.
I'm on it.
Like,
so on it.
Do it.
And as soon as I get that answer, I'll get that to you.
Let me know.
Gary V. You love Gary V, don't you?
I love him.
So do I.
I love him.
Tell me a little bit about him and why you like him so much.
So that's how I got in. It was Gary V. So Jason and I have followed Gary V and his process and his progress for years now. I mean, not for nothing. My husband's from New Jersey, born and raised in New Jersey, probably a couple of towns away from where Gary was born and raised. My husband is a Jets fan. So when I moved to New Jersey, and I could go into like the entire story of myself and my husband, we'll start in New Jersey. So we met in New York. We moved to New Jersey as soon as we figured out we wanted to start our family. And we lived there for 6 years. So during those 6 years, especially when we really started to get into the entrepreneurship, we found Gary V. We read his books, listened to his content, love his drive, his no holds barred attitude, and he comes from, and I know candor is something new that he's thought of, but he's always kind of been that way. He's coming from, even though he's very throwing the F-bombs and bad language. I swear my children know all their bad language from him because that's how much I consume his content.
Yeah.
My goodness. My 7-year-old threw an F-bomb once, and I'm just like, okay, where'd you learn that from? Uncle Gary. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. Okay. Let's move on. You're not allowed to say that. You can say that in a couple of years, but you're going to get into trouble from your teacher if you do. Okay. Yeah. Anywho, back to Gary. So we've listened to him for years, and actually during COVID, and this was, is this more than a year ago, when Gary first put out Tea with Gary V, Jason actually went ahead and signed us up for it and tried to get on. And we actually did. And we got to talk one-on-one with Gary. And this is before he had or started putting out the inklings of the NFT world, before he started really diving into Be Friends. And we got to talk one-on-one with him, and it was fantastic. So when he did, and when he started talking about this NFT that he was going to do, of course, before Gary, Jason and I were just like, these are expensive JPEGs. Who's going to invest in something that I can just copy and paste? We didn't understand back then. So when Gary came up with this, Jason and I figured that it was a ticket to his conferences. We get 3 tickets for his conferences. We spend, I don't know, it was a few $1,000s. And it was basically an expensive ticket to go to his conference. So we do it. We jump in just with that thought process. We're not thinking about NFTs in general. We're just thinking, it's kind of like we're just going on to ticket night. So that was just the beginning though, because we jump into Discord, and I'm just like, what is this? There's so much here. What am I
Discord?
What's happening? Do you remember the first time you jumped into Discord?
Oh my God, not to cut you off. When I first got on Discord, I was just I was in there. I'm like, I gotta learn it. I know it. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, but I gotta learn it. I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm back in the Discord. I gotta learn this, so I finally get it. I had
That's
to
exactly.
I had to make my brain say no. This is just the rough part. Get it? So I got it. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to me, because when Gary was just like, okay, you got to hop into my Discord, I hop into the Discord. It was just like, it was just his Discord, you know, in that long trail of like 3,000 Discords you're a part of now. I just had the one. I had Gary, I had V Friends. I'd go in there, I'd just be like, my mind's exploding. I can't, not another social platform. And then I find out you have to go onto Twitter. I don't tweet.
Oh,
I was never a tweeter. Like, and I've been around since the inception of Twitter. And I remember when they first came out, I was just like, that? Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stay on MySpace. So all of a sudden, like, I'm on Discord, I have Twitter, and I start meeting people, and I start getting to know people, and I start getting into other projects. And Gary starts like promoting under other projects, and one of them was World of Women. That's one of the first projects that he was like, y'all should go check this out. I'm not promising anything, but you should go check this out.
Yeah.
So I jump into World of Women. I actually purchased one. I get one, and just because it's like, I love the thought behind it. It's a women-led project. It's a woman artist, and she was saying that, you know, she was going to create this artist community, and it's been an amazing like project to be a part of. I didn't know it was going to go to, I don't know how much ETH it is now, but I only have the one, so it's not like I'm going to sell it because, you know, hodl. But that also introduced me to projects like Fame Lady Squad. Like Fame Lady Squad was the actual first female generative project that has an assorted history, because you found out later on that it was actually 3 Russian men that created the project, which will bring me to, you always have to make sure you know your founders.
Yes.
The great thing about this project is that those men gave the contract to Board Becky, also known as Ashley Smith, and she and a band of amazing individuals have created such an amazing community there. And a lot of what I'm building is kind of riffing off what they're doing there, because they're going with a community sense mindset. Because they didn't get the funds. That's the thing. They got the project.
Right.
But those gentlemen did not give them the funds.
Right.
To really back what could be an amazing business. So they depended on really getting out there, like doing the footwork, getting other projects to notice them, noticing other projects. And now it's like they built this amazing community of people that completely believe in this project. And then that World of Women, Fame Ladies went to Boss Beauties, and I'm actually a mod over at Boss Beauties. And that solidified what was happening in my brain, because that was the first project that I looked at, you know, besides Gary, but Gary's almost like on top and untouchable almost, like he's Gary V.
Right.
So Boss Beauties was the first. So Lisa and Anthony. Lisa, of course, she has 10 years of experience with My Social Canvas. And I looked into My Social Canvas. I saw that she was helping Gen Z women and women in general, like lift themselves up into the business community. I didn't even know about her contacts within Marvel, within Elle magazine, with the UN. She just announced her collaboration with Barbie, with Mattel. I mean, I didn't know that. All I saw was that this woman had this business backing that could hold up an amazing project with an amazing artist and with an amazing mindset. And at the time, she had an incredible roadmap that I was just like, okay, I can be a part of this. And that was actually the first project I bought more than one of, or bought more than 2 of. I actually bought 5, which, you know, that's not whale status or anything, but that was big for me. And then I went in and bought another one. So I have 6 of them. Yeah. But yeah, that was the first. And actually to this day, I think that still is the most I bought of one single project. Even Meta Angels, I bought, like with that, I bought 5. Yeah. Because I believe in in her.
Right.
Like, I don't, even with my investments, unless I am heading up the project, if I invest in something, I invest in people. Projects. Because a project, the numbers could work out, and and if we're talking about NFT world, like the art could be amazing and their roadmap could be spectacular and like promise all these things. But if you don't know the people, all that's just words.
Yeah.
If you're investing in good people, like their project will prosper. Yeah. Not the other way around. A project cannot hold up people. People hold up projects. So invest in people.
Absolutely. That's amazing advice. Thank you. That's a great way to end it right there.
Oh, welcome.
Anything you want to share, anything, your socials, your upcoming mint date, if you know that yet, anything, feel free.
So we just released our website. That's going to be www.legacyleadersnft.com. Cool. So legacyleadersnft.com. You can get all the information for Legacy Leaders right there. We haven't released the mint date yet. And that's because we're watching the market.
Right.
But it's going to be, we're planning on end of March into very early April. So it's going to be kind of like that last week of March into April. So look out for that there. Please, if you want more information, join our Discord. I'm always there. My husband's always there. Crystal's always there. Sia jumps in. So we're there talking to people. And we just announced, like I said, it's Legacy Leader Appreciation Day. We just announced our mod squad there. So join us.
Sweet. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. I'll see you soon.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respect your elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.